I was doing research on organ transplantation for some reason, and I saw this paragraph. This had been taken out of the article because this guy didn't think it was real. And it's this sentence in here that caught my attention. Particularly this phrase, one Elijah Cragen. Elijah, that's Serbian or some language for Elijah. And Cragen is a word that means countryman in some language. I forget which. So look what happens if you search the internet for this phrase. These first two are the same paragraph that we were just reading. And the rest of them are bizarre. They're like Mad Libs or something. They have the same sentence structure, but all the nouns have been replaced by other nouns and stuff like that. And the only things that are the same are the phrase, one Elijah Cragen, and the number 20. You don't even have to go to the pages. You can just read. You could just read what comes up on Google. The pension was an employed use, one Elijah Cragen, whose scope, whatever that says. The hoist was a made line, one Elijah Cragen, whose problem line was grown to. The lymphoma was a treated contraception, one Elijah Cragen, whose first system was offset to 20 relatives. The gallbladder was an inferred rifampicin. The donor was a convicted murderer. The object was an exhibited tax, whose trade 1 week was set to 20 quantities. And there's a whole bunch of them in different languages. French, I found them. Swedish, Russian. The science was a herd avoidance, one Elijah Cragen, whose stock fencing was. The stability was a referenced member, one Elijah Cragen, whose amount free credit report copy was imposed to. And at first I figured this was like some kind of spam bot, something like that. That was just created to, make fake text for whatever purposes. But why would they all have this phrase in it? And the first one, the original one that I showed you, this is a real story. I don't know if it's about an operation that happened in 1926. This guy couldn't find this article, so that's why he thought it was fake. But I found it. Hold on. Found it somewhere. On. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's in Serbian, so it's hard to understand. I translated it to English, and I don't know if it's actually. These people are saying they I don't know why they started it, but they looked back for this story about this operation that happened in 1926. And I guess there was a dispute as to whether or not it happened. But the important thing is that the person exists, the guy's name, Elijah Cragen. And so the question is, why would some spam bot take a phrase from the Wikipedia article about that, or from wherever he got it, and basically replace all the nouns and stuff with other words? Just, it seems like gibberish. So, like I said, Elijah is Elijah. Cragen means countryman. And Elijah, if you don't know, was in addition to being the guy that never shows up at Passover, he was a prophet, and he said that he was the only one left in Israel who was still believing in God or still followed the laws of God. So here we have his phrase, one Elijah Cragen, over and over again in the cloud. And I'm just wondering if anybody thinks that means anything. Probably not, but, what do I know?